I started in the gym just to get the mentorship, right? Just like I started in corporate to get the mentorship. At least I was smart enough to understand that I needed to get mentorship in order to speed this thing up. And I think it was within 6 months, maybe even 90 days, I was able to completely replace my corporate income.
This is the Angel Next Door podcast, where we will talk about all things angel investing, what it is, who does it, how do we find them, what does it mean to invest in an early stage company. If you have ever wondered how you can affect the change you want to see in the world, then tune in to learn more. In this episode, I'm talking with Katie Sampayo, the dynamic creator of the Millionaire Playbook. Whether you're craving more freedom, seeking mission-driven entrepreneurship, or curious about what it really takes to design your dream life, this conversation delivers candid stories and powerful strategies. We talk about how Katie overcame personal and professional challenges, embraced mentorship, and built a worldwide community of women thriving in business and life. Plus, learn about the transformative Millionaire Playbook events and why they are designed to be accessible for everyone ready to take their next bold step. Enjoy the show. Katie, welcome to the Angel Next Door podcast.
Hello, I'm excited to be here.
Yes, excited to talk to you and learn all about the Millionaire Playbook and all of these amazing things that you've created. So start off a little bit. Tell us about your background and what you've been working on in the last couple of years, and then what led you to the Millionaire Playbook.
Yeah, so I call myself a life redesigner and business mentor for highly driven entrepreneurs, specializing in working with highly driven women, because that is a very unique breed of entrepreneur, right? And the way we want to teach our women to build businesses is through alignment and not through burnout. And that's been something that I've done myself, being an entrepreneur now for about 13 years. So I started off in the health and wellness industry when I was 22. I had one corporate job, and that was at a bank, of all things, in the marketing department. It was called Mariner Finance, based in Baltimore City. And I got that job out of high school, or not high school, right out of college. And I took it because I wanted to study under my boss, who became like one of the biggest, most influential mentors in my life to date. And actually, it was because of her pushing me is why I quit and started my own fitness company within less than 2 years of being there. If she quit, then I quit, sort of thing. And then, I started in the health and wellness industry as a personal trainer. And then I just kept building from there because I never wanted to work for somebody else. That's something that I knew. I started in the gym just to get the mentorship, right? Just like I started in corporate to get the mentorship. At least I was smart enough to understand that I needed to get mentorship in order to speed this thing up. And I think it was within 6 months, or maybe even 90 days, I was able to completely replace my corporate income.
Wow. That's
Isn't that
great.
crazy?
Yeah.
I'm like, why haven't I done this even sooner, right? Like, you start to understand what's possible when you break out of that little comfortable shell that we're taught to stay in, living in the United States. Like, I grew up in a traditional family where it's like, yeah, you get good grades, you go to college, you get a job, and you want to have you want to have the job in the city. I had the job in the city. We worked for the corporation. Like, I didn't work in a bank. I worked for the overseeing all of the banks across the United States. And we had the office downtown looking at the harbor and all that stuff. And it sounds all swanky and all of that. And what I realized really quick, and this is why I'm so passionate about what I help people do now, there was no freedom in that. And when I look at my core values as a human, and I help my clients also understand what are your core values as a person on this planet, we usually have about 3 to 4 of them that really drive us. Freedom was like at the top of my funnel, right? So and having that kind of career was just completely out of alignment with a core value of mine. So if anyone here is listening to that, well, that's where the pain comes from. The pain comes from the misalignment. That's where the depression comes in. That's when the health problems start. That's when it's hard to wake up in the morning. That's when it's hard to sleep at night. It's because there's actually a misalignment and you're like battling yourself constantly, because you feel like you're doing the right thing. But then that there's something deep down inside of you that's telling you, no, this isn't right. But maybe you just don't know the other way yet. Like, you don't know what the next step is forward. So this is what I help people do. I work with a lot of people that are in this transition where they've been living life a certain way for a long time. They've been in a career for X amount of years, and they've actually been pretty successful at it. Like they've climbed the corporate ladders. They're high level executives, a lot of them. And they have that feeling that something's out of alignment and they don't know how to put their finger on it. And they also don't understand what's on the other side. And it's scary not to be able to see what's on the other side. That's what keeps everybody wherever they're at. Like, well,
Yes.
I can see where I'm at. Got it. And you're having health problems and you're constantly stressed out and they're not getting it that it's that I'm like, no, you're so focused on compartmentalizing this. No, this is way bigger than just your career, actually. This is a misalignment of you as a human being on this planet with authentically living your life exactly the way that you want. And I've found most people, they don't know how to dream as we get older. We forget it sounds simple, but like we don't. Tell me what environment encourages you to dream versus just follow the rule book
That's right.
as an adult. No, not really. Like you've got to purposefully, intentionally implant yourself into communities of people, into coaching programs, into mentorship opportunities, into networking events, whatever, with people who really like are obsessed with that and constantly are talking about what's next and evolution and all of these things. And they're not just focused on the thing that's right in front of them. They're looking at this greater scale of possibility. And that's also why I'm so passionate about traveling. And that's why traveling has completely transformed my life. That's why I've been nomadic for 8 years. And it's why with all of our clients too, we travel all around the world. We have 2 in-person live events, like mastermind intensives as part of our program, because we've got, from my experience, and this is just my approach, and who's to say my approach is, there's no approach that's like perfect for everybody, right? It's like, this is the approach that's worked for me and worked with the people that align with our vibe and our culture here. But we've got to get out of the bubble of the normal life. Sometimes you really just don't understand until you finally get out of it. And then all of a sudden, you can see things that you just could not see. You could do the same work on in your house, but just doing it in like Costa Rica in front of the beach where nobody's calling you. Your phone might not work, for example. You're completely disconnected. You don't have your kid knocking on your door. You don't have your husband, hey, honey, what's for dinner? Like, you don't have any of that normal routine stuff. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's like when you can step out of that for a couple days, it's just crazy what can actually start to open up. All of a sudden, you do start to think bigger. Think past just the next thing to do on the to-do list or what's in the plans over the next 7 days. What's the plan for my life? Like, it gives you some space and freedom to be able to do that. And that's what happened to me because I started traveling. I didn't leave the United States till I graduated college. And as soon as I did that, it was like a whoa. My eyes were open that I was living such a sheltered, small life in Maryland. And my inkling of there's so much more that's possible started to really become reality because I also then saw people that were working remote and people that had Amazon businesses and people that were coaches. And they were my age and they were making millions of dollars a year at 20, living in
Wow.
Bali. You know what I mean? Like I met them coffee shops and stuff, like crazy stuff. I met them surfing out in the ocean and they tell me about all this stuff. And I was just like, what? I'm like, how did you do that? How did you even know about that? Because I was meeting cool people in Baltimore as far as entrepreneurs and I was going out, but I wasn't seeing that. You know what I mean? That was like another level of first level of freedom. Just work for yourself. Just work for yourself. Design your own schedule. That's like the first level. A lot of people want to work for themselves, right? Because they want to design their own schedule. That's step one. I don't want to, if they want to pick up their kids at 2 o'clock, because that's important to them, they want to be able to do that. And then if they want to be able to hop back on later and do meetings later in the day, if that works for them, or they want to start super early so they have their afternoon, or that's the first reason why I believe most people want to become an entrepreneur, start a business, is it's time freedom, it's schedule freedom. That's step one.
Yes. Yep.
Step two is mission.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the next level of the entrepreneur, which is their mission. And am I fully owning my mission on this planet? Am I doing what I know I'm meant to do? Am I making the difference that I know I could make? Am I going to die with no regrets? Because I helped a certain community of people and that matters to me. People that want to have influence and impact is then the second level of entrepreneurs. So I started like everybody else, right? First, it was just seeing that, like time freedom, whatever. And then when I was starting to meet these other people, when I was traveling more outside the US, I was getting more of this bigger mission, bigger impact, and seeing it in front of my face in so many different ways. Like I saw like how some of the people that I met in Asia, they were changing all these families' lives over there. Like it was raising money for them through all of they had so much extra money. They were just helping so many communities at like 20 something years old. It was bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really inspiring. And I was like, wow, so that I have to wait till I'm 60 to do that. Like
Right.
that's kind of what happened in my head. It's like these people are doing it in their 20s.
Yeah.
So why couldn't I do it? That's all you need to start thinking. Well, why can't I? You gotta start questioning things in a healthy way. It's like healthy questioning. Well, why couldn't I do it? Well, of course I can. I just get to implant myself more around people who are doing it and just
How
learn.
do you think you knew to find mentors so soon?
I don't even, I was just really smart with that. I'm trying to understand, like, why did I know that? I think
Yeah.
as a business mentor, and this is a benefit, a business mentor, a business graduate from college, whatever. I graduated with a marketing degree. They definitely make you go out. And
Hmm.
in order for us to have graduated, we needed to do two different internships. So that's mentorship. You could not graduate with a degree in business unless, at least from the school I went to, unless you did 2 6-month business internships with the company. And it didn't
Hmm.
matter if it was paid or not, but you needed to be there I think it was like 15 hours a week, at least something like that. And they had to sign off and make sure that you like did the things correctly and you were blah 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 blah. And I think that was probably the first example of, hey, you got to go learn from somebody else who's already doing the thing that you think you might want to do. So actually, I originally thought that I was going to be an event planner,
Oh.
which I do. I've been planning that for 8 years. It just snowballed into something else because I always loved planning the trips and bringing groups of people together. And I felt like a superpower and a gift of mine is community. Why I also built Millionaire Playbook, like bringing groups of people together. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do events. But I also knew after being with this woman, there's no way I want to be an event planner. She was stressed out and working every freaking weekend, like all weekend long. You're seeing these themes. You're like, okay, well, I want this and I don't want that. I want this and I don't want that. And you just keep fine tuning it. So those were like the first mentors I had, I would say would be the people that I did these internships with. And then when I got my first job, the corporate one, there's no way I would have ever taken that job if it wasn't for the person who was hiring me and who I knew I was going to be directly working underneath. She was only like 2 years older than me, but freaking wicked smart. Like everything I know really about marketing and branding and messaging honestly started from that woman. And she was so detail oriented and just so good at telling a story. Like I could just tell, I'm like, this, I got to be around. I just was smart. I was like, I got to be around this woman. I know that if I hang out around her, I'm going to become great. And we hit it off. And her name was Kate and I'm Katie. There was all these like funny little
And what
synchronous.
industry was that?
That was when we worked in the subprime lending.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
No, I didn't give a crap about the industry. And you
Yeah.
think I would have known more about money at that age, marketing it, but not real. I know about like 30% interest loans. That's what I knew about. Like for people that needed your car broke down or your water heater
Right.
broke and you just, yeah, that's the whole thing. But it taught me how to build a website. I was in charge of the social media. I ran my first couple
Oh,
social media contests and campaigns. I did the company newsletter and learned how to use Adobe Suite and do graphic design. It taught me a lot, actually. But here's a little secret. We had these little meetings that we did not tell the CEO about, me and her. I think it was on a weekly basis, maybe, where they were about our side hustles.
oh.
She talked about her side hustle thing that she was building. I talk about my side hustle, which was my fitness career. And I started teaching classes after work at the local gym. And I built my whole website, my blog, all of it while working there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got it done, and then I actually started a corporate wellness program, the first one ever, because they had over 150 employees there just at headquarters, and I spearheaded it. I ran free fit wellness classes for all the employees after work 2 days a week, and I just really wanted to test, is this what I wanna do? And also add value to where I was already at, and that's when I made when I was like, "Yeah, this is." I did it for like a year or something while still getting certifications after work. I got my personal training, I got my bar certification, I got my TRX certification, I got all that stuff. I did all that. And then as soon as she quit first, then I was like, "Yeah, I'm out." As soon as she quit, I knew, I'm like, "There's no way." The guy that came in was a guy that came in to take over the position. I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna have this guy tell me what to do." Like, he doesn't get it. Like, there's no freedom with this dude. He was like a very corporate, he was a nice guy, but no. I was like, "This is the push to just do the thing that I've already been talking about since I started freaking working here." And that was the big jump. Took the big leap, and I didn't make income for 60 days because I was in the transition, like, studying under the people at the gym before I was able to have the clients and start selling personal training, and then as soon as I started selling it, I'm like, "This I cannot believe how much more money I'm making doing actually something that I love to do." Making my own schedule, I got to completely decide when I wanted to work, what days I wanted to work. This whole thing I talked about at the beginning of this, and I was like, I think I was making like 8 grand a month. I was
Amazing.
I was making $2,000 a month at the other place, 2 to
Hmm.
3, because then you take all the taxes and all the stuff out, right? It's barely anything. And I'm like, and I was like, eventually later on, I wanted to start by just helping people with their health and their wellness and all of that. But I love business. So that's what's gotten me here, where I love working with people who are entrepreneurs because I've always been one, and it's a different fire and it's a different passion, and it's a mission thing. I feel it's not just I want to make money and I want to have my own schedule. They're totally entrepreneurs like that. I just don't work with them.
Yeah.
I don't want
So
to.
so then how did you go from being a personal trainer, health and wellness into all of this like kind of life
Yeah.
coaching?
Well, I did some deep dive personal development stuff. Obviously, became obsessed with Tony Robbins and all of his things because I also was in network marketing at the same time. And what do they push so much? Personal development, sales, transformation work, how to communicate, how to be a better leader. That is it. No, so I was in a couple different network marketing companies too, and I got totally like Jim Rohn, like all in that. And I went through a lot of really hard stuff in my teenage years, like super hard. Ended up getting bullied by a bunch of women. So this also feeds into the women thing. And actually had got restraining orders against them.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because
Yikes.
they would just attack me. Literally, literally, they attacked me. They attacked my girlfriends when we go out. They'd throw water on us, spit on us, start fights, like fist fights.
Yikes.
That was crazy. And it was all because some guy liked me. That this was this girl's ex-boyfriend or something, and I didn't even know her, you know what I mean? 'Cause I was like, "So why do I care? I'm gonna go on a couple of dates with this guy. I don't even know you," but they were aggressive, and you know that it's a problem when this girl also had 3 or 4 other restraining orders against her from
Yeah, that's
other
bad.
women. Yeah. This is when I was 18 years, like, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. So, at that because of all this going on, I actually was, like, suicidal. Okay. So I went into this super deep depression because I just didn't understand why I just felt constantly attacked, and, like, I would go out and I'd be attacked, like, this happened for a year and a half. Like, it was just even after restraining order, like, her little friends, it was just, like, constant because I went to community college first, so I was still around there for the next 2 years, and I was on the tennis team, and all of them were on the soccer team, and we always saw each other in the locker room. It was just, like, out of a freaking movie, right? Like, I just started to question my value a lot, like, question my life. This is how it happens. So, because of that, I also was, like, deep into my spiritual work because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be, like, I wouldn't be alive. You know what I mean? I was a completely different person back then. So I'd worked so much to have the identity shift to be this confident, vibrant, what that's how I see myself now, woman was not that. I was like this big. I was super introverted, extremely shy, self-conscious, did not like to be the center of attention. Put me on a camera, I look like this talking. I was like so nervous. I was just I didn't think I was important. The guys that I dated would always cheat on me, which validated that little story, right? It was just so actually the big personal development thing that I went through was Landmark. They have something called the Forum, and it was a live in person, I think 3-day event. What comes out of it is what's meant to, but that's when I started to learn these different concepts of story versus reality, which is a foundation of what I teach. It's the foundations of transformation work, actually. It's the foundation of next level communication. It's the foundation of like actually understanding how to get to the core of what drives you. Why are you the way that you are? A lot of psychology was mind blowing to me. Like I got to see things in a way, and this is the stuff I teach my clients. That is what allowed me to finally break destructive patterns in my life. That I kept ending up in these situations, right? Ending up in these relationships with men that would cheat. Well, I couldn't see because I hadn't done the work on how I was choosing that because I was operating from a story that I'm unlovable. So I keep trying to prove that story to be right all the time. So what do? I keep dating these jerks, subconsciously choosing, and then learned about way more about the subconscious. And I became obsessed, right? Once I put my little foot in there, I became obsessed. I did all the programs. 3 years later, I did the whole thing again. Okay. Like the whole thing, because with my coach, who then created her own version of that, something called hardcore leadership, that I went through again. I got every boy that I dated to go through it. I got my best friend to go through it. I was like, you got to go through this. And then that was when I was like, I'm up to bigger mission than just helping people with their health. That's still a core foundation. It's part of my lifestyle, to take care of myself, eat a certain way. How you do one thing is how you do everything. But I felt like my mission was more to, I'm just going to say it, save people's lives. That's more what I'm up to, because that kind of stuff changed, it literally saved my life. Like they got every day like that. I was exposed to it, and then I was open-minded enough to lean into it. And even when it was really hard, I didn't quit. Like I stayed curious. And these are like all the things that I teach nonstop. And that's why we focus on an identity shift. We focus on the inner work because it doesn't matter. I just chose to focus on business now, right? But if you want to start a business or take your business to the next level and you don't get underneath of what is the actual bottleneck to your success, which it's almost always internal. Everyone wants to look right outside. So the outside's happening because of what's happening on the inside. And that's what keeps repeating. So yeah, we got to work on that outside stuff too. And most people, literally most business coaches, because it's just not what they're qualified to do. They haven't studied it enough. Like it's not their thing or whatever. But they don't teach you. That's what makes us very different, to assess, well, what is really going on internally? What's really happening with the belief systems that you have about success, about money, about who you are? We got to go back a little bit, assess, and then I'm so focused on moving forward. And you need an action plan to create something new, and you need a system and a process and a community. Those are the big ones: system, process, community. You can't just have one. People think that. They're like, oh, well, I just have a system, but I'll do it by myself. That's what strong women say all the time. They feel bad or guilty getting help. I don't get it. Well, I do get it because I used to be like that too for a long time. And it's like this ego thing. It's that, but it's also that they don't trust anybody because whenever they've let somebody in, it didn't work out. And that hurt. And that was painful, right? So then they don't want to repeat the pattern. So now they have all this evidence that when I get help from people, it's actually hurting me. So I might as well, it's less hurtful if I just do it on my own. And then that becomes a conviction that people operate from. And then that's how life looks. So anytime someone tries to come in, the answer could be right in front of their face that they've been praying on, meditating on, wanting to arrive, and they push for it because they can't see it. So all these people that want to grow and scale companies, grow and scale to multiple millions, what do you think their block is? They don't know how to have a team. They don't know how to work with people. They hire people, they fire them. They hire people, they fire them. They hire people, they fire them, but no one sticks around most of the time. Okay. And then they get stuck in an income bracket, and then they get stuck working all the time. And all of a sudden, that freedom that they wanted to create by becoming an entrepreneur is completely gone. Then they're doubting their profession. Then it keeps snowballing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're, this is the growing pain, because you can only do so much on your own until you just hit it. You hit the top, and you can't. You have to shift. You have to go through. That's why most people that talk about when they make millions of dollars, I interview millionaires, multimillionaires, all through these millionaire playbooks, right? That's what's helped me become one myself. They all emphasize more than anything the identity work that they've done on themselves, the leadership work they've done on themselves, the mindset work they've done on themselves in order to build the thing that they now have, more than any business tactic or any. How many times you got to hear it, but yet people want to just focus over there. Listen to all the millionaires in the room. They're telling you that 80% of their focus has been on uncovering their own crap and figuring out a way forward, or they couldn't have hit even multiple millions in a month. So
Plus, I think people think that like they can just, I need to change my mindset. Okay, I'll just change my mindset.
yeah,
It's so easy. Yeah.
it's not easy. And that's why you literally, in my opinion, you cannot do it by yourself, because we all have blind spots.
Yeah.
She freaking studied it. I have usually 2 coaches at continuously 24/7 for me. Even though I literally teach it for a living and I'm great at it, it doesn't matter. I'm still a human with blind spots who doesn't know everything and can't see what's in my way half the time, because this is just what happens. It's normal. And once you don't make that wrong and you surrender and you're like, it's just part of being a human, and you don't make it wrong, then all of a sudden you can let the help come in.
Yep. So tell us more about the Millionaire Playbooks.
Yeah. So the reason why I started creating Millionaire Playbook last January, and we ran 6 in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, which is amazing, is, well, first of all, I was like, I'm going to be one of these women. I was so close. I'm like, the year before we're like 800,000, right? And I'm like, this is the year I'm going to become a millionaire. So what do I want to do? I want to, of course, surround myself with millionaires so that it's going to actually happen, and learn from them. That was like step 1, right? Number 2, I was very committed when I looked at what do I want to create in my life over 2025 to heal some of the remaining wounds I have with women, trusting women, being friends with women, opening myself up to women. 'Cause I could see that I was still dealing with from 15 years ago or whatever, with that still blocking me from really having these more deep, intimate, vulnerable, connected relationships with really strong, powerful women that were inspiring and up to big things just like me. So easy for me to be friends with men. Always. What did I always struggle with? Having really good girlfriends, actually, because of I knew it was from the stuff from when I was a teenager. And I'm like, I'm also just going to be a stand that more women get to be around really good women, women of good character, women that aren't competing against each other, women that want to see other women rise up, women that aren't showing up to support because they need to receive something in return. That's why this event is people are blown away that it's free. It's extremely generous. I built it off of generosity and collaboration are at the top of that funnel for my vision, for the experience I want people to have when they step in that room as a guest at Millionaire Playbook. And it's 100% what's happened. And it's been incredible, because you just see the 10x effects of it, just from even the people on the panel, the women on the panel meeting each other. I host a mastermind call for all of them. It's amazing. And then they go and each other's retreats, and they start other businesses together. And it's so cool to see that they met.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And then, of course, the guests that come in, like, they're receiving so much that day, like tangible strategies on how to really grow and scale their businesses from anywhere in the world. Not even that, but then how do you really live in alignment? How do you have this different relationship with money? How do you work on your energy and stepping into your feminine energy and trust? Like, we have all those conversations. So we have the mix of, here's the tangible business strategy for AI, or for you're nailing your marketing and messaging, or how to really get traction on Instagram this year, right? That's some real stuff that we also got to know too. How do we authentically sell better? How do you sell high ticket coaching programs from the DMs? Even I've had someone come in. How do you start a podcast and have it actually become lucrative or in a lead generation source for you? I've had people come in and talk really great, like deep dives into specific marketing strategies. And then we've got to also talk about the mindset, the leadership shifts, and the identity shifts, and the work that actually understanding money. A lot of women don't understand money. And I know that's what you help people to, like, they don't understand it
Yep.
because we weren't taught how to
That's
use
right.
it effectively. My parents didn't teach me. I don't even know how to balance a checkbook. You know what I mean? I don't. Not like we don't use checks anymore, but really just knew that I needed to make sure was this: don't overspend. That's all I knew. Don't spend what you don't have. That's like the one thing. So I always saved. Saving doesn't make me wealthy. I had to completely recondition. Crap. Makes me poor and broke. But I didn't know that until I started hanging around people that were wealthy, right? So that's what we're also bringing to all the women at this event, is this education of how money really works and how to really become a multi-millionaire, and to do it in a way where we're creating passive income streams at the same time as actively working on our business and understanding the frequency of money and how money really works. It's not, now we have cryptocurrencies. This is relevant. This
Yeah.
is real. Like, we got to start educating ourselves. Of course, I'm going to have someone at the February Millionaire Playbook talk specifically about cryptocurrency. Absolutely, because it's relevant right now. And these are relevant conversations where we're in like a crazy moment in time right now where this could be in the history books and we're living in it. And we either are going to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of us, or we're going to totally miss out because we don't understand it.
That's right.
That's what's happening.
So, who's the ideal guest who comes onto the Millionaire Playbook?
It's definitely a woman who wants to be surrounded with other powerful, highly driven women that get them, that are up to big things. Just like, that's why I wanted to create the event. I just wanted to be around more women like that, and who do want to grow and scale in a new way in 2026. They want to be doing it in a way where it's more efficient, it's more effective, they feel better, they're having more fun, they're more grounded in their strategy, and they're grounded on their path. And they're really looking to be like, if you can knock that out and get a lot of that cleared up in one day, because this is a 1-day event, there's so much freedom in that. Wow, I don't need to spend months. No, we're going to literally get into that in 1 day. And on February 6th, we're going to do it. So it's definitely for entrepreneurial women who are wanting to create a next level in their business and a next level in their wealth. And that's a big focus for 2026.
That's great. So, we're going to release this episode before February 6th. But if people are listening afterward, they should go to your website to look at future dates of other Millionaire Playbooks, right?
Oh, yeah, we're going to have one in April. We're probably going to have one in June. I'm planning to have 5 next year. And I get to make the decision, but I might even do a live in person. Whoa. That's my vision. That's my dream in the fall.
Okay.
And that would be, I don't know where yet. I get to figure it out. But that, I'm putting it out there because that creates accountability. That there will be a very big live in-person Millionaire Playbook event
Nice.
which that will be ticketed because of the overhead
Right.
associated with that. But still, that's to be coming. So if you go to katiesampayo.com, that's where all the stuff will be listed. But the Millionaire Playbook website is is livetothrivetoday.com. Yeah, livetothrivetoday.com. And then where we always have the next openings to sign up for the Millionaire Playbook, and it's free.
Amazing. And so, why do you make it free?
Because I want to lower the resistance. That's it. It's even if it's $10, there's resistance. I don't want any resistance for people to get in that room, because I know if someone gets in that room, it's going to change their life. And I'm just committed to that. I'm committed to that before anything else. If they get in the room, most people have zero idea. Just like when I went into my landmark for the first time, I had zero idea what the heck I was walking into. I thought it was all going to be about just my business. All this other stuff came out of it that changed my life forever. And yes, I paid to get in that landmark room, but I have a certain level of leadership to just pay for things. I know not everybody does, especially if you don't really understand what it is or what it's about. Most people, they need to feel it, they need to experience a little bit, and then they're like, oh, and
Right.
then if anyone wants to hire any of the people, because everybody who's on the stage are amazing entrepreneurs, amazing coaches, amazing leaders. They solve very specific different problems. Then great, you can go hire whoever you want after. Well, what you don't know until you just get in the room. So that's why it's free. I just want to help as many people as possible. And this, if it's free, there's going to be more people that actually sign up and that show up. And I'm more about the impact at the event. I trust that the back end happens when you just have the right people in the right room.
All
So
right. So it's February 6th. How long? All day? What time does it start?
10 a.m. Eastern, and we go till
Eastern.
4. And then there
Okay.
is a VIP upgrade option. So for $47 before we kick off, then you do get a VIP panel from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern at the end, where we bring back all the experts. We do hot seat coaching. You then get the replay for life, because we do not send out a replay. It's then a 7-hour replay of all the different trainings. And I include bonus sessions in there that are very powerful as well. Every training is just 30 minutes. So it's very digestible to watch the replay, and you just listen to 1 or 2 a day, like a podcast.
Yeah.
And then you have it for life, because it's a lot of great information. We have VIP gifts from every expert that's like their real programs, courses that's worth it's always worth at least $5,000 itself.
Wow.
No, it's crazy. Like, people are doing like private one-on-one deep dive VIP sessions that are worth like 10 grand with these people after the event is
Hmm.
over. Or they can go through their whole AI boot camp course that's $700 for free with them just because they got VIP. Like, again, because the event is built from, people think there's like a catch. And I'm like, there's not a catch. It's just sometimes like you got to trust that this is actually really just to support every person, because I'm like, there's got to be no excuse for people after this thing ends to not understand how to take a next step. So what VIP does is it gives you that next step. Here's the next thing. Don't let the momentum drop. Implement it now. Pick 1 or 2 strategies and implement them, but don't do it by yourself, because the whole event is teaching you not to do that. That's the whole point.
Well, that's so good. Well, Katie, thank you so much for coming on the show today and telling us all about this. We will be sure to put all the information in the show notes and make sure people have the link to get to the information on your website, and for not only the February event, but also for future events too.
Awesome. Well, thanks. It's great to be on.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. To connect with me, visit my website at marciadawood.com. And please subscribe, follow, and leave a review. It helps the podcast get seen by more people. And remember, you can also find the Angel Next Door podcast on YouTube too. And if you're looking to learn more about investing in the changes you want to see in the world, sign up for Ann and Bill Payne's ACA Angel University classes. Go to theangelcapitalassociation.org, all one word, to find out the schedule. And classes are now available on demand. Many classes are offered, everything from angel investing basics, which include fundamentals, risk, due diligence, term sheets, valuations, returns and portfolio strategy, and even a class on group formation. There's even a deeper dive where you can get advanced classes, including capitalization tables, startup boards, and exit strategies. If you're not already a member of the Angel Capital Association, you can become one for a low price that will give you unparalleled access to discounts, free webinars with a huge archive of content, networking opportunities, and much more. We'd love to have you join us. All content for this website is informational and not intended to serve as legal, tax, accounting, or investing advice. While Marcia, that's me, does serve on the SEC Small Business Capital Formation Advisory Committee, my views are my own and not the views of the SEC or my fellow colleagues on the committee. Our speakers and hosts are thoughtfully selected for their educational value, but their opinions are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of the host, me, or the Angel Capital Association, and neither specifically endorse the use of presenters' products or services. Listeners of the podcast should consult their own tax, investing, legal, or accounting advisors before making important financial decisions. All warranties, including accuracy, completeness, and suitability for specific purpose, are disclaimed.